I've hit 1 million subscribers. It's wild, it's crazy, and yeah, I don't know, it didn't hit me until like 3 days after I actually hit it, and I was looking at it and I was like, holy crap, I have done a lot of work, and these last 6 years have been absolute hell. I'm just kidding. It's been all right, but there's obviously ups and downs, and that's what I'm talking about today. 6 things, life lessons I've learned from YouTube from 6 years of doing YouTube. Number 1, hard work does not always correlate with superficial success. So the harder you work does not mean you're gonna be rich, famous, etc. That's why it's best to kind of get fulfillment out of just being better at things in general, so that hard work can attribute to success. If you don't count it as money, fame, whatever, then yes, it actually does correlate. But with YouTube, with skateboarding was always a one-to-one thing. If you go out there and you work really hard and you practice a trick over and over and over and over, anyone can actually learn that trick. It's 100% hard work. I took that into YouTube and I thought, yeah, it's going to be the same way. And I got lucky at the beginning because I found some channels and some ways of making content that was actually getting a lot of attention on the platform. And for some reason, the harder I worked, the more views I got, until it didn't. I started getting a little bit fancier. I got a nicer camera, and as I started upgrading, my views actually started dropping. So then I dedicated twice as much time to actually making the videos, and my views dropped in half again. So with YouTube, it's more about understanding YouTube as a platform, understanding the meta, obviously trying to create the content that you think your audience will like, and simultaneously creating the content that you think that you will like and that should be out there in the universe. And there's this sexy combination with a splash of luck that usually make things work, but it doesn't have to do with just working hard and beating your head against the wall over and over and over. Unfortunately, there's a limit to that. Number 2, creating consistently is better than creating perfectly. So basically, quantity over quality. There's this tale that I'm sure you've heard before, but there was a class, it was divided into 2 sections. One had to focus on quantity, one had to focus on quality. They had to build pots. So there's one perfect pot versus, I don't know, 50 other pots based on quantity, and at the end of the semester or the year, the best pot was always one from the part of the class of quantity. Great speaker here, clearly a 1 million subscriber talker, but the best pot always came from the quantity side of the class because they had the ability to build, refine, recreate over and over and over, while the other side of the class just built based on theory. So you have to actually experiment to see what is going to be better in the future. And I think with me, even though it doesn't show in the views, my videos have always gotten better because I make them over and over and over and over. Number 3, this one's a bit heavy, but having people like you isn't going to fix you, or having people admire you isn't going to solve all of your internal problems. If you have a bit of insecurity that comes from this place in life, it's better to kind of dig deep into that and figure out other ways around it. Some of the more traditional ways might work, therapy might work for you, or just kind of thinking about it a lot, meditating it on it. For me, it's a combination of meditating on it and then just accepting the reality of it and then kind of repurposing my past. Not saying that's what you should do, but having a lot of people on YouTube be like, you're awesome, we love you, you're great, is the best feeling in the world. And it feels like it's like drugs sometimes, but it's not gonna fix you. Didn't fix me. And yeah, still had to worry about the same problems I had to worry about before, no matter how many people showed me positive attention. Number 4, I learned about the true value of money, which is basically just nothing. I've made more money on YouTube than I ever thought I would, but I haven't even made a lot of money. Just never thought I'd make any money. In reality, come from a very poor city, poor family, whatever. And I was just like, this is totally cool. Never really cared about it. But the second I started making it, I was like, whoa, this is super cool. And I wanted to try to make more. And then I could feel that nothing was changing inside, wasn't getting any more stoked. And the truth of the matter is, they say money can't buy you happiness. But like Naval Ravikant said, not having money can make you unhappy. So everyone unfortunately gets caught in this trap where you need to figure out what it's like to have money to realize you don't need it. It's really kind of pathetic. Humans are pathetic, but we all do it, and I do it now. There's a lot of things that I'm like, dude, you know what would be cool if I did this, this, and this? Even though in the back of my head, I know, well, then I'm gonna be worried about the success part of it. Then I'm gonna be worried if it, fails or succeeds. And then, yeah, nothing will change internally, but still sounds fun. And we all have to try it to see the value of it. Number 5, along the same lines as number 3, no advice is universal. So before I thought, yeah, just go out there, work hard, and someone will say like, some big piece of life advice that will change your life forever. And you're like, oh my God, that's universal. Everybody needs to hear this advice. but then I realized that a lot of people who were watching the videos weren't getting the same effect from some of the things I was saying, and vice versa. And I also realized for someone like myself, I remember during the whole COVID series, there was a lot of advice to really take care of your mental health. So I had this like insane attack where I was just thinking every day about every trauma that's ever happened in my life, and I became really miserable. Like, that's part of the reason I made the video about being depressed, is because I was actually thinking too much about my life and then positioning everything that happened to me as this negative thing that happened to me. Instead of seeing the good and the bad, I was just like, here's all the bad stuff, dump it on myself, okay? And everyone in the world was saying, well, think more about your mental health, more about your mental health. And that wasn't universal advice that really helped me at all. And yeah, not all advice is universal, so it's okay to accept things and not accept things. And then it's also, you just gotta know when you're giving advice to be empathetic, because a lot of people, you know, their lives are different. They might not need what you have to say. And number 6, here's the last piece of advice, but success feels good for about 10 seconds. I wanted to be a pro skateboarder for about 13 years, I think, before I became a pro skateboarder. And when it happened, it was very thrilling for about 15 seconds. And then after that, I thought, well, what else should I do now? And that was the most depressed I've ever been in my entire life. For like 6 months, I genuinely had no idea what I wanted to accomplish, because this was a goal that I set for myself, and I disregarded the entire world to make this dream a reality. And then it happened, and I thought, well, now what's next? So it's more about trying to figure out a journey that you find exciting and fun, and pursuing that journey. The end goal is just kind of a north light, a north star to head towards, but if you don't enjoy the process of getting towards that north star, then that's the entire thing. Then you're not enjoying life in general. So make sure you find a path that is fun, with an end goal that only leads to more goals further. It can't just be like, I want to be the best person in the world, because once you get there, it's only downhill from there, and that's just sad. So yeah, there you go. 6 pieces of advice, 6 years of YouTube. This might not have sounded as cheery as you may have expected. I wanted it to come off that way, and maybe hopefully some advice that actually you can take and carry on with your life. And I also wanted to make just a talking video, because on this channel, I'm always going on adventures, and it's a strange job, to be honest. But I do want to say from the bottom and basically all around the heart, just realizing how strange that expression is, thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for helping me feel a lot more confidence in myself. I really never thought, as this kid in Columbia, South Carolina growing up, a lot of people looked at me like a charity case and thought of me as this like poor foreigner boy with no home or anything. And it was a strange situation to where I genuinely did feel like I wasn't lovable. It didn't like hurt me every day. I just thought that intrinsically. I was like, oh, that's just the way it is. La-da-da. Went about life being like, nobody will ever love me or like me, yay. And then to be in a new situation where I make YouTube videos, and not only do people see me as an equal finally, but people look at me in admiration and kind of envy the life that I may get to live once in a while. And to me, it's unreal. So thank you so much for providing the love and support that you have, and helping me with, of course, my self-esteem issues and my confidence, and hopefully leading to me hopefully making better content, or more exciting content that feels more fulfilling for you to watch. It's always the goal at the end of the day. So I really appreciate it. I can't even I can't say it enough, and I never could say it enough. And I know this is the cheesy thing that people on YouTube do, but I think if you watch my videos, you know how deep an impact that you've made by showing me love. So thank you so much, and I will see you Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. That's when I'm uploading videos to this channel right now, because I think that's what YouTube wants. I'm gonna end this going right back to square one. Yeah, let's make some videos, and hopefully you will like them. I'll try my hardest, as always. Thank you so much. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it!